State. Oh, championship. This is Class 1A. There's 6 games this weekend. 3 today, 3 tomorrow. The games today on right now, and then 3:30 and 8 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow's games will be at 11, 3:30, and 8 p.m. That's when 8 o'clock. That's when St. Joe's plays tomorrow night. I don't know the 2 teams that are playing right now, but
coming into this, we have an injury for Jeannette because it looks like it is James Sanders who is getting up a little bit slow for them. And he is a very important player because he's one of those guys, probably the best deep threat on the team. And his safety as well, as a tremendous cornerback as well. But he's a guy who can really stretch the field for you. Had a few big-time catches a week ago. 3 catches, 109.
I'm just flipping it over because I don't want to show it to the person that's hurt. But I hope he's all right. This is the first state championship game of the day.
It is Sanders who is that guy who also was the quarterback for this team a year ago. So with Brad Birch already unavailable for this game, Roberto Smith as the signal.
He's walking it off. I hope he's all right. He can come back in as long as it's not a concussion. So he's watching. It says they got 3 viewers. He's watching.
Jeannette will decline and bring up 4th down. Rollers offense will stay on the field though.
What I think I'm gonna do is gonna do the first quarter. I think I'm gonna stop at every quarter. I'm not positive yet, but
He was very definitive, stepped on the sideline as he was trying to make that lunge forward. So these 2 teams, they don't like to punt very often. They will if they need to, but realistically, they usually are not supposed to. They've been very dynamic offenses. Jeannette, almost 48 points per game. Steel High, almost 45 points per game. 2 teams can really light it up. And blitz through their schedule. Jeanette's been on a little hotter of a streak.
I don't know either team, so I wonder where both teams are from. If somebody's on this live to tell me who they are and where they're from, that would be great. But
he slips into that quarterback position, but has rushed in the feature running back position on the season for 780 yards and 18 touchdowns coming into this one. He's got Kalen Piscar, Jaden Kennedy now, 2 guys that he'll be handing the ball off to sometimes, and also guys in this spread formation like this who are other options in the passing game, along with Sanders, Klein, and Burns.
What's up, Jeannette? How are you?
For the Jayhawks.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Screen out of the back, or out of the slot that time, that was a little too high. So 3rd down upcoming for Jeannette. We've played not even 2 minutes yet. We've had 2 turnovers, a couple of injuries to key players that are both look like they're going to be fine. Both of them have returned to the game. Let's take a look at the Jeannette offensive line.
This game is up at Hershey Park Stadium. This is a Class 1A championship game.
Shank is the big guy out there at left guard, 290 pounds. Don't be surprised if that's the direction they go behind him when they need tough yardage. 3rd down 9 for the Jayhawks.
Well, I'm going to see what I'm going to do.
Look to his right, going to keep it in his palm, take off, gets across midfield. Jayon Perry, he sidestepped Jayon Perry for a minute. Amari Williams and cleans him up. He's going to be well short of the first down.
Yeah, I don't know this other team's name is SHS. I don't know what the heck that means, but that's the other team right there. You guys can see, I don't know that team's name, but
at the other linebacker position, and this is a area of strength for Steel High because these 3 guys not only are very young, but they're also very good and aggressive to the ball. Tydre Holland Ali, Marcus Martinez, Andrew Irby Jr., Tyler Ray William are your defensive line. Damian Hammonds, Mekhi Flowers, David Pryor, and Cameron Moore in the secondary for the Rollers. Andrew Irby Jr. a little bit different stature than Alex Irby.
It looks like they're already even. So class 1, 3, and 5A all played today. And then 2, 4, and 6A play tomorrow.
Feels that near the 5. And he's going to be tracked down by a slew of Jayhawks. So Steel High's going to start deep in its own territory here. Still scoreless.
That's what it's.
He joined us late. We had a couple of turnovers in the first series for each team. Powers obviously not wanting that down inside the 5, but dangerous return there. Steel High starting the 7. As long as you trust your hands, it's okay, because that was a dangerous ball that could very well have been down inside the 5-yard line.
What's up, Dennis?
I don't
How are you, buddy?
Today's game. The talented freshman will hand off to Odell Green, trying to pick it away. Got a flag down. There'll be a hold on the rollers. Yeah, this should be against one of the wide receivers, actually. I believe that time. May actually have been Flowers.
What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna.
The single A game doesn't draw a whole lot of fans, as these are small schools in the state of Pennsylvania. For unfamiliar,
Video each quarter.
is the highest, but in PA it's the lowest. And with restrictions,
So
COVID-19 and all that is still prevalent, especially in this state. Numbers continue to rise. The PIAA limited the amount of fans that are.
I wish St. Joe's Prep played today, not tomorrow night. I mean, that's one game I'm looking forward to the most. The St. Joe's Prep game. They play tomorrow night at 8. So, Allie, I think. So,
for a guy like Odell Green, you want to get him going in a game. This is a guy who thrives on having a lot of carries in a contest. 206 of them in this one in just 9 games. That's a lot of carries. It's over 20 carries per game, and that is a lot of carries to be putting on a high school back. And they really don't use anyone else other than an occasional run from a wide receiver.
I will live stream all the games too, so.
Air it out again. He got hit as he threw. Underthrows that one. Looking for more. Coverage was there that time by Brett Birch and others for Jeannette. Brett Birch, the brother of the quarterback Brad Birch, his number 1 target too. Brett, a junior, and Brad, as we mentioned, is a freshman. And Brett is a fantastic defensive back. The one guy you might not want to pick on. 4 interceptions, all of them in the playoffs for Jeannette. And he is a.
And this is a good game. I mean.
Read that play perfectly. They tried to fake
So far, well, this is only the first quarter too. This is not even 10. I don't. Not even 10 minutes in because I played 15-minute quarters, and it is.
You have 2 defenses though that are very, very aggressive, and because of that, those hard.
That's one thing I don't like about football is they stop the clock like every play. But once somebody's up like 35, not like once somebody's up 35 by 35 points, then they don't. Well, once somebody's up gets to 35 points, then they don't do that. That's 1 o'clock, and then the only time they stop it is clock is for first downs, turnovers, and injuries and touchdowns.
Of the Jayhawks,
so
they have to establish the running game, and Odell Green makes them multi-dimensional. They will tell you.
And if it's all either team play, I never heard of either team either. So
on the ground here with Green, nice shot, Jameson, and Huerta got in there. Both met Green at the line. Okay. That'll bring up 2nd down. Actually, he's going to lose a yard, it looks like. Huerta is not a huge guy out there. Just listed at 109, about 200 pounds out there.
It's just,
at a defensive
this is fun, like,
man, he is quick.
this is so much fun just watching these, like watching the state championship games. Especially on today, I have nothing else to do. I have an interview for my YouTube channel at 2, but besides that, I have nothing else to do. So I'm just glad my dad got me this channel last weekend.
10 catches, 260 yards, and 4 touchdowns in that game. Let's see is Flowers trying to get to the edge, and they are all over him on the Jeannette sideline. Roberto Smith cleans him up out of bounds. Short game for Flowers. And you're right, Brian. He just doesn't look 100%. You saw him a couple of weeks ago in the quarters when he and Irby teamed up to beat Old Forge with no time on the clock. And he was hobbling all over the field in that game. It was kind of a muddy field. It was a muddy night, but he's a game.
That's the only thing I don't like, man. That they
Give him an opportunity to do whatever he can because he's going to fight tooth and nail to be out there on the field for you. A play like that, that's when he has to recognize, hey, I'm limited right now. Let me just take the lost scooter out of bounds instead of taking the extra hit.
it's like they stop the clock on every possession, like, every time.
The freshman is going to go down deep in the backfield. Huerta is in there, along with Binikonski for Jeannette. That'll bring up third down and long. Defensive coordinator Jeremy Binikonski, who's a 95 grad from Jeannette, sends the blitz this time. Brings a couple of linebackers.
This is cool, though. I mean, like I said, this is cool. What's up, What's up, Nancy? How are you? How was your Thanksgiving? Miss you. I can't wait to hang out with you next week, Nancy. Me and Nancy.
Third and 27. They're back on their own 17-yard line as the clock ticks down to around 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Flag comes in, and that play is going to get blown dead. It shouldn't get blown dead. That should be illegal motion. And it looks like the ref on the side went to blow it dead, then he changed his position on his signal. It's illegal motion against Steel High. They let the play run on that pretty easy on that one. The illegal shift and that's because Flowers came out to the outside, wasn't set yet.
You guys see anything I can fix? Let me know, and I'll fix it. I'll try. I want to make. I don't want to make this. I want to make the. I don't want to move my phone around that much. So if you guys see something that I can fix, let me know. Sometimes I won't even know if I move my phone around. So.
Check that. Jeannette jumped offside. You wouldn't think that that's terribly big here. However, that does give Steel High more room. Really,
what are you guys up to today, Black Friday? Any of you guys going out shopping today?
Should be keep away with this punt. And he will put his foot into it. It's an end over end. It'll take a hop and right into Sanders' hands. Nice catch, nice field, should say, on the return by Sanders, and he is driven out of bounds on his own sideline, short of the 45, right around the 43. So Jeannette will take over first and 10, as we are still scoreless here in this first quarter. 6:56 to go from Hershey Park Stadium, and Roberto Smith and the Jayhawks offense.
Hey Nathan, I think that's your name.
Had some trouble here getting started in this game.
What's up?
Run the ball twice for 7 yards, and they're averaging 3.5 a play. That's not terrible as far as rushing, but offensively, they just have not been able to generate anything. No first downs yet. You would expect Roberto Smith to be the guy who's going to run the ball here. They need to try to establish that a little bit more. Make the Brent Birch keep Smith trying to stiff arm the defender, and he is driven out of bounds on his own sideline. Well, that's a great play from David Pryor stepping up defensively. One of the guys who usually plays a corner position, stepping forward, being able to pick up the outside containment and bringing down Smith Jr. It's a Steel High team that a week ago against a very tough Bishop Guilfoyle team held them to 122 yards rushing on 40-some carries. So this is a defense that has that ability.
Thanks.
Second down and 9 for Smith and this Jayhawks offense. As they try to get something going here midway through the first. Out of the pocket, Smith will scramble again. Pressure coming. He throws it down the field. Great job and adjustment by Brett Birch, but he lost the football and he bounces right on it. Good job by Birch. He was spun around and able just to fall right down in that ball, and a great adjustment on the route to get open. And Smith found him down the field for a big first down. Well, they allowed containment to break down here on the near side, and that allowed Smith to not only roll this way, had an option to try to run the ball, but you like the fact that he kept his eyes open down the field, had a passing lane open.
No problem.
Good route runner in Birch, who makes the reception.
I live stream every game this weekend, so.
Pops right up into the hands of Birch. Steel High territory. Smith out of the shotgun. Will look. Pocket breaks down. He's going to fling it down the field looking for Birch. Birch pushes off of the man, but he's in the
wow.
touchdown. Pryor had the coverage. coverage and a great job by Birch to know where he was in the field. A little bit of a shove there, but he got free from Pryor and pulled the touchdown pass in. And they missed it, but they have been consistent. The play earlier where Flowers pushed off in an effort to get a catch. If they're not going to call it, you've got to recognize that as a defensive back. Tough go there for David Pryor, who we just had talked about making a good play. That time, really nothing he can do. Birch, his 10th receiving catch of the season.
I didn't know that.
A place where his receiver could make a play. Roberto Smith Jr. fires that touchdown pass. 34 yards, and Smith will do the honors here on the point after try. It's a low end over
7-0.
And it is good. So it's 6:15 to go in the first quarter. Jeannette gets on the board first. 34-yard touchdown pass from Smith to Birch, and you're watching live coverage.
Okay, you too, buddy. What's up, Steve?
Network, NFHSnetwork.com/PIAA is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of Pennsylvania high school playoff action. Thomas, along with Brian Kaiser here, will be with you for all 6 games. Second game today is the 3A championship. It is Wyomissing and Central Valley. Then tonight, Pine Richland and that circus of an offense will take on Erie Prep, Cathedral Prep, in the final game. Then we'll have 3 more for you coming up tomorrow. Last drive, 3 plays, 57 yards to 41 seconds off the clock. Culminating in the touchdown pass from Roberto Smith to Brett Birch. 34-yard touchdown with the extra point. It is a 7-0 lead for the Jayhawks.
Wow, look at David. It's so cool. They even have a garage from Hershey Park in the background. See? Guys can see it. It's so cool. I didn't even. I didn't notice that. I just noticed that. That's so cool, though. I mean, I don't know if this was where the same place as the soccer teams, soccer championships. Well, yeah, it was. They said Hershey Park Stadium. So I guess it was. I just didn't realize it last weekend that the road that drives in the background. That's so cool. What are you guys up to today, eh? You guys ready for Christmas?
Irby will take the snap. They'll keep it on the ground here on first down. Flowers, they're just trying to get the ball to him, I think, in any kind of way. Benikonski is there for the stop. Yeah, he hasn't done a lot of running recently. Last week was his first rushing touchdown.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to
trying to get him the ball in different scenarios.
Stop it. Just going to record every quarter. That's what I want to do. Unless one of the teams are up by 35, then I will do just do the rest of the game, but third and 1.
Irby again, they'll hand it off again to Green. This has worked pretty well for him in the early going here. As Green will get a couple to the 35. Benikonski is in there again.
5.5 minutes left in the first quarter. First and 10. Far side is Hammonds. Hammonds has been the busy receiver. Wow, go!
Sideline, he is shoved out of bounds, but not before he gets it across midfield into Jeannette territory. As Benikonski was in there again to give him the shove and a first down for the Rollers. One of the concerns coming in for head coach Roy Hall of Aliquippa coming in was the size or lack thereof of his secondary.
And even
small wide receivers, and there you saw
I guess
Hammonds just stepping out of the tackle. Irby again, they'll keep it tempo-wise. Green found room and
go!
Steel high as he drags the tacklers down to the 35-yard line. Ran right past the blitz on the play.
I didn't even know this guy, Nathan. I guess if it's like, for Facebook Live, I guess they tell everybody. Like, he seems like a nice guy.
Run the ball pretty hard here. here, found a couple of spaces. Get a false start. Yeah, false start on the rollers here. So this
Excuse
is a
me.
concern also for both teams, Eric, is the penalty situation, because both these teams, they have the tendency
This is a killer out of
some inconsistent play and concentration from time to time, especially when things don't go your way. That's where we
one
really
thing that I don't like is that it's like,
15 from the 40, keep it on the ground with Green. Patient runner, spins around.
that's already 20 minutes in. This live has only been 20 minutes. And they don't play 15-minute quarters. That's the other thing I don't like. Is that with they stop the clock or something trying to carry up.
That's why they've kept it on the ground here.
I don't think they should do that, but whatever, it is what it is.
Looking deep down the sideline for Flowers.
Whoa! I thought that was going to be a court. Wonder if I know any of the referees up here this weekend.
Great move to the inside that Birch was beaten on. See what the referees are talking about this. They're going over that Jeannette sideline.
That's why I like I don't mind this, but it's
was originally applauding like you had,
football's like the one sport that I don't mind watching.
not the case. It's going to back Steele high up, second down.
But this takes for so long, you know. It just takes so long to like like even with the NFL games though. Even with the NFL games, it's the same way.
When he tried to step up, the key is if you get flush from the outside, when you step up, where is that inside pressure? And that time, number 23, Tayshawn Jamison, just a 5-8.
I know. What's up, Ryan? How are you?
Irving going to have to throw it here. Dumps it off to Flowers. Flowers trying to get to the outside. Stiff arms the man. Has room. Flowers a little cutback. He is going to have the first.
Go! Touchdown!
50-yard catch and run. Irving to Flowers. And Steele High is a point after away from a tie game. And sometimes you just have to get the ball in the hands in space of your best players. And Mekhi Flowers is that guy. Mekhi Flowers with the catch, some good blocking downfield, and then once he does that, the stiff arm right in the face.
Wow, this is crazy.
Straight to the ground, and then breaks a couple more tackles.
I love like the close games though, but the other thing I don't like is that they stop that they don't let the clock keep running. Like I agree to a point, like.
Kept Bishop Guilfoyle from getting back here to Hershey again. His point after try is and we are tied up at 7 apiece. Today's game is also available for all subscribers via our mobile website, online at nfhsnetwork.com for your smartphone.
This is so cool. And then I would love to be up at that park today. I would love to be up at one of these. That's my goal. That's my dream. Like, eventually, one year, I want to get up to the Hershey Park Stadium for the for the championship weekend for football or soccer.
They still have the opportunity to strike at any time, and you see that with the big playability of Mekhi Flowers.
Both teams are very well matched. What's up, Tyler? How are you?
Because we're going to see some outstanding offense.
How's your Thanksgiving?
This weekend in a lot of these games, and that may be as good a play as we're going to see. Flowers told the local media outlet Penn Live during the run-up to the season he was actually being recruited more as a safety, and there's a chance that he still may play defense when he goes to college. He's got another year of high school left, obviously. This Steele High team is very young across the board. As talent goes, maybe the offensive line, there's some holes to fill for next year anyway, but
3 minutes, 10 seconds left in the first half. First quarter, maybe, guys. And it is Yes.
He is just a special talent all over.
Tie game, 7-7.
He is a guy you need to get the ball to, or you need to watch out for if you're an opposing player. The reason I think teams like him so much at safety,
I'm hoping. I mean, I will live stream the second quarter. I don't know if I will live stream the whole second quarter. It depends how long this. The first. This one will. It depends how long this video will take the down. Take the save.
First time somebody other than Smith has had a carry in this game. And that's really the surprise is they've gone with Jaden Kennedy as the runner here, but they haven't bothered to go to that at all. They haven't put anybody other than Smith back there in the backfield for most of the plays. And the fact that Jeannette has not attempted to run the football against what's been a small but very...
They should do this every time. They should only stop the clock for like injuries and timeouts, stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine. He's the athletic director at St. Joe's Prep. And he told me that they're trying to do like less stoppages, but that's if it's like an injury or something, but
Smith out of the shotgun pressure, and he cannot get away from it.
wow.
Almost their entire defense in that back.
Oh, and his helmet fell off. Oh, man. Both teams are very well matched. These two teams, I wish I knew who the name of both teams. But well, I know that this team, I don't know the name. There's a name for this team, but I don't know what that is. But the other team, they don't even have the name. It has the initials. I think that that's crazy, but.
Yeah. 75 yards in front of them. This Rollers defense has shown up here the last. I know they had the touchdown on the one drive, but so far, Jeannette's run 10 plays offensively, just 60 yards. This Rollers defense outside of that one drive, and that's why we have a tie score, obviously, has pretty much done its part here in the early going. They have. But it's been consistency that's been an issue. There's a reason that they give up 21 points a game, which probably is the highest number of any of the teams that are in this championship game all weekend. Irby back out there, quarterback. Pressure again, breaks down, the ball pops loose.
Wow.
And Jeannette, obviously everybody's saying they got it, but it looks like Steel High is able to get it back. Irby got back. No, it actually was not Irby, it was his center. Marcus Martinez, the senior, is able to get on that ball. Irby looking downfield, not recognizing the pressure, getting there as quick, and never is able to tuck that ball away. They swatted at it, knocked it away, and fortunately,
I don't know,
is able to reach 2 or 3 different Jayhawk defenders to maintain possession. Hammond's bottom of your screen, Flowers top of your screen. Rollers keep it on the ground with Odell Green. And he is across the 15, just shy of the 16-yard line for a 2-yard.
Now, see, you guys see, right, that they're letting the clock like, keep running. Why didn't they do that the whole first? Why didn't they do that the whole time? It wouldn't have been a half hour. I'm going to tell you that.
Anybody you can keep one way at the single A level, that's a victory unto itself.
It would have definitely not have been a half hour.
Freshman quarterback's only playing one way, with Smith going both ways because of the situation. Are we going to air it out again? Hammonds, and that one's tipped and knocked away. Great coverage by James Sanders. Toby Klein was also back there for.
I'll stop it now. Pick up in a couple minutes, guys. This is the second quarter of this game.
Starting quarterback for this team threw for almost 1,400 yards, 16.
I don't know either team's name.
They move him this year to the wide receiver.
Oh, there's it. That team's name, but I can't.
coming in 29 catches.
I don't know like what the name, like what that weight is. And then the initials were for that team. I don't get it, but whatever.
This time, Rollers defense is all over that. Yeah, Smith
This is the second quarter of the Class 1A championship, the first of 6 of the weekend.
He had to get rid of the ball fast. That's because Steel High very disciplined on that play defensively. None of the defensive backs bid on it because they trusted that the run up the middle would be taken care of. They stayed with their men. Just a tremendous individual effort because Tyrone Moore was right with Sanders every step of the way. Caleb Piscar in there for Jeannette. They'll keep it on the ground with Kennedy, though. And he will gain a couple inside the 15 down to the 11-yard line. 4-yard run with Birch not being available for them at the quarterback position. Saw his role really expand. Actually, coming into this game, he's the second leading rusher on the team. 306 yards on the ground.
Well, they're actually moving the clock a lot faster than they did in the first quarter.
Smith looking over the middle, little dump off, but Kennedy stays with it, makes the catch.
Wow, that's crazy.
Trailed by Perry, and Perry will drag him down short of the 10, right around the line of scrimmage, the 11-yard line. That's a touchdown without the deflection by Amari Williams up the middle. They had the middle screen set up extremely well. You could see it developing as that had gone on. The problem was you had one guy who got his hands in the passing lane. Jumping up was the freshman linebacker.
I don't know why they're not, why they're moving the clock a lot faster this quarter. They should have done that the whole first quarter as well. But it is what it is.
Made a 29-yarder against Clairton in the WPIAL championship game. This would be a similar distance.
And it's
End over end, and it hits the upright, and it's
good. No good. No good.
About 30. Let me say that was about 38, and 28.
What's up, Danny? How are you, buddy?
Back over to Steel High, so the Rollers get a chance here again.
How you been, man? In a long time no see.
Because where that hit on the
Hope all's well, Dan.
I'd go about 30. You might give him an extra.
How's your family, man?
2 for adrenaline, but outside of that, that's going to be the distance. Just unlucky that the ball didn't quite miss the upright. Flowers in motion on first down. He'll get the carry, sweeping around that left end, and he fights his way for a gain up to the 25. And he continues to struggle a little bit with breakaway speed on the ankle. But still, some good blocking. Steel High had that play set up extremely well over on that left side. These wide receivers also block extremely well for the Rollers. Flowers, bottom here.
That's good, man.
Out of the shotgun, will hand off.
Hopefully we can hang out soon. Once all this virus is calm down, man. How's going? How's your brother doing, buddy? And Matthew, how your brother's doing?
With their running back, they've been like that over the years. You go back to their state championships back in 2010, 2008. They had a guy by the name of Jeremiah Young, who they just used as a bell count back for that group. Go with the wide receiver sweep again. It's Hammonds this time. Patient, tries to find some room. Lost the football. Got a flag down. Fumble one out of bounds. Had Odell Green blocking, so that might be a block. I think you're going to get an illegal block.
How's your Thanksgiving, Dan?
Back at the history for Steel High. 2007 Single A championship over Sarah Catholic, 34-15. 2008 Single A championship over Clairton, 35-16. So third time trying to make it 3-0 for the Rollers. It's a special group back in that 2007, 2008, and they think they've got another special group here this year. Going to wave the flag off.
No flag.
No block in the back, or no illegal block there by the Rollers. Run for 5 yards, so that'll bring up 2nd and 5 for Steel High here. There's under 9 to go in the first half. I think he gained a couple yards on the fumble. And it looked like they did mark it where the ball went out of bounds. Kirby will hand off. Green bobbled that one, but he gets through the line and then it stood up. Piscar and others in there for Jeannette with 8:45 to go until halftime. I love the way that Ryan Kimmel plays defense, too. He's just a sophomore, but he's going to be...
I'll do this whole game. I'll try to do this whole game. As long as it doesn't, like, go to like overtime. I have something to do at 2 o'clock, so.
Cuts back, and he gets popped. Binakonski, and Flowers is slow to get up again. That's because at the end of that play, Binakonski took him down by the ankle. But then Piskar, from the backside of that play, landed on his head. And that's where he's a little bit more shaken up right now. I don't think it's the ankle this time. I think he's also frustrated because I think he saw a cutback land the other side and just couldn't get out of the grasp of the leading tackler on this Jayhawks defense.
I don't know. I mean, I think they took his 15-minute half.
11 tackles for loss on the season. It has tremendous instincts, and you might understand why, because Dad is the defensive coordinator and has been since 2009 with the Jeannette Jayhawks team. It has an opportunity to
that's Jeannette.
Absolutely fabulous.
That's the name of that team. I don't know the other team name now.
The Jeannette staff that you talk about Binakonski.
I hope the kid's all right.
Took over as the head coach, but
You can come back in if he's all right. You can come back in, but
Ryan Reeds, the offensive coordinator, was a player at Jeannette.
I don't know.
Assistants stick around when he took over as head coach. There's continuity, and it's important because the players know who they can rely on, what they're going to use. They're going to run a fake punt here with Perry, and Jeannette is all over that. Perry's going to get dropped back at the 35-yard line. Piskar, I beg your pardon, on Perry that time, and the fake punt doesn't work. It's just great recognition that time. Is that a good time to dial that up there, do you think? You don't.
I don't.
At this stage of the game, you trust how your defense is playing? You want to see if you can give your team some momentum? I don't mind it.
I'm hoping I can record live stream the third quarter. I'm not sure if I can, but if not, I'll just let you know how who won at the end. After I'm done the thing I have to do.
Actually made a great play individually. Jeannette takes over with 8:01 to go in the first half. Smith Jr. will keep it on the ground. Space up the middle. Got by Jalen Perry, and he gets down to the 25-yard line for a first down. Elusive runner in the open field. And there you see his ability
This is a great game.
to pick his way through. He's a guy who, against Greensburg Central Catholic earlier this year, had 4 touchdown runs, a touchdown pass, a block punt.
Yeah, so after this game, the next game's at 3:30, which I'll be live streaming on here, and 8 p.m. there's another game.
In favor of Jeannette, we got a flag in as Smith Jr. will carry Amari Williams with hands on him at the flag.
Football!
This is going
Maybe
to be a
not.
very physical game. With physical games, many times you see the offensive line
Lie down.
trying to stop an aggressive defense. We're going to have a hold called against Jeannette. Just under 7.5 to go here in the first quarter. First half, I beg your pardon, is they'll mark that.
How'd you that, Dan?
Back to the 34. It's a big penalty, too, because all of a sudden, the other thing you're starting to see, Jeannette offensive line.
This is so cool.
Getting some surge. They were not getting that.
I can't. I love doing this. Live streaming games, especially today, because I've done nothing else to do till 2 o'clock, so.
Steel High does on the defensive side. And Konski in motion as Smith Jr. will take the snap, fling it over to the far side, catches bait over there. That is Birch. As we're going to another flag in here, Amari Williams again in on the stop for the Rollers. Takes down to the 20. It would be a first.
All right.
Secondary. Even if this is a hold, it would be a spot foul, so it won't be the end of the world for Jeannette. This would be well down the field, but is it possible that there was a...
I guess they give this game with Spencer at 11-0. So my guess is I think they give everybody each team an hour. This game should be over by 1:30.
And that was a play that worked extremely well.
So I guess they give them like a half hour to celebrate on the field. I guess that's why they give it.
If you notice, early, they were just going. Now, they're a little bit more patient trying to read.
I guess that's why they do it this way, right?
On this drive, even
And then if any game's going to overtime, I to think about that, but that too.
Around, no room to go, and Steel High cuts that corner off nicely.
Steel High.
Again, Williams.
Steel High. That's the other team. So Steel High.
Andrew Irby, the head coach of
versus
the Steel High team, was a star linebacker, not just in high school, but also in his collegiate career.
So this is a Steel, two teams. Steel High is in the over here, and Jeannette is right there. I think Steel High is in the blue, and Jeannette is in the white, but I could be wrong. Throw it!
Smith Jr. is going to scramble, throw that one house in front of his intended receiver, Birch. Perry putting on the pressure again. You go back.
That quarterback just reminded me of Carson Wentz.
And he is just a dude that is laser focused on every
single
thing he does.
I love Carson Wentz, guys, but he has to do a better job. Like, I'm not trying to say anything bad about him,
He's a good
but
dude. You put him on the gridiron, all of a sudden he is.
He needs to run out pocket more.
Third down and 18 from the 33. Smith Jr. slings it near side. Klein to catch. Klein space. Klein's got a wall, and Klein inside the 5. Amari Williams saved the touchdown, but it'll be first and goal. Jeannette with 6:28 to go in the first half. And that's
Jeannette is in the blue. Steel High is in the white. That's what it is.
Just a little bit ago when they ran it to Brett Birch. And they come back with it here on a key third down and long to the opposite side of the field. And they end up breaking it all the way down to the 2. So they recognized they had something with it. The illegal shift negated what was a good gain. And coming back the other side.
Hey, everybody. This is what this guy. I don't want to show that. But I don't know. I mean, he may be alright. He's back up already, so
heated up here in this second quarter now, 5 and 9. Remember,
I don't know what the heck just happened.
All the way back on the first
So I flip it back over.
And this
Game.
Offense now is suddenly in 10 less plays outgained Steel High. They were slow to start. Steel High's defense played really well in this game, and now Jeanette's finding some cracks and making some big plays here in the second quarter. They get great field position because of the fake punt.
I think Jeannette is in the blue, Steel High is in the white. That's what I'm 99% sure that's what it is.
To show how explosive they can be and how quick, too. They've had the ball for almost 5 less minutes than Steel High in this first half. They've got more yards on less plays. And Smith will be in the shotgun here. First and goal from the 4.
It's a very good first quarter, first half, let me tell you.
He will jog on in the end zone for the touchdown. A 4-yard touchdown run by Roberto Smith. And Jeanette's retaking the lead with 6:17 to go in the first half. And sometimes it's all about leverage down on the
yes, so Jeannette is in the blue. Steel High is in the white. Score right now is Jeannette 13. Steel High 7.
Quarterback to step through. Roberto Smith, his 19th touchdown run of the season. He'll try the point after.
And it's good.
But he's 2 for 2 on point afters here this afternoon. And Jeanette's got a 14-7 lead on Steel High with 6:17 to play in the first half. High school sports fans never miss another.
Oh, there's some fans out there. I mean, but as you guys can see, there are definitely social distance. There are social distancing. So hard for me to say. They are 6 feet away, so they are social distancing. So that's so hard to say that, but they are doing that. There's some fans right here, and then more fans over there. So I don't know where Steel High or Jeannette is, like, where like, when located, but,
Missing from nearby Berks County, taking on WPIL champion Central Valley. You talk about a clash of styles there. You've got Missing with their wing tee, wants to pound the ball between the tackles, grind out 15 play drives every time they've got the football and work the clock. And you've got a Central Valley team that has been
this is fun,
ever since
but the other thing I don't like is that they don't, like,
area when they gave up a 14-point lead going into that fourth quarter to lose that game. They've been waiting to get back to the spot. I think we'll see something special out of them.
I thought that they were, like, that they tried.
On the far side by Hammonds. Hammonds cuts back and gets a nice return up to the almost midfield, just shy of midfield, right around.
I was talking to my buddies, the athletic director at St. Joe's Prep, a couple of weeks ago, and he told me that they're trying to, like, they're trying to, like, they're trying to not, like, bring out the trainers if not necessary. So.
We all remember who that quarterback for Jeannette was back in the day, too. He was Terrell Pryor. He was okay.
The referee's hat just blew off. Crazy. I wonder if I know any of the refs that are doing these games this weekend.
My Lord, what he did that afternoon was sensational. Are we going to air it out on first
Oh, wow.
sideline for Flowers?
Whoa.
That is tipped and intercepted.
Oh, my God. Wow.
The coverage, Klein trailing the play. Flowers doing a little defense there to knock it away, and Klein picks up the carom. I think if they want to try to play jump balls and throw the ball deep, Birch is not the guy to go after. He is an outstanding corner in terms of not just his position, but also is a good leaper as well. Timed that play perfectly, and as Flowers went
each quarter has been at least 20 minutes, been at least a half hour long. So,
but the second guy in is the guy who gets the pick.
Turnover
for Steel High. Remember they had that first one on the first drive. And for Toby Klein, his fifth.
Good thing is I can always, like, just do, put it in small video, not, like, just put, or I can just put up every quarter on my YouTube channel, so.
Good to see Williams back out there right away, because they need him out there in this sort of situation. This is danger time for the Rollers, because Jeannette is a team you already talked about. They can put them up in bunches, and they can do it quickly. And you cannot allow them to get away from you in this situation.
Excuse me, guys. It's just fun, though. I mean, I enjoy watching football, especially high school football. I never watched, like, the championship. I'm lying. I watched last year's Archbishop Wood championship game. That was the only watched one. Just I'm watching all 6 this year. And nothing else to do. I can't, like, the virus. So. I do have an interview. I have something else to do later, but.
And it was excellent coverage that time from Pryor, who broke on the ball and probably had an opportunity if he'd gotten around him to pick it.
Hard, go!
Smith going to air it out. Best pass of the afternoon, but he overshoots his intended receiver, Klein. Coverage by Pryor, or by Hammonds that time. They'll bring up fourth down, and Jeanette's offense not leaving the field just yet. And now they will. Their punter, though, is the one who ran the deep route. So that has to be a little bit of a concern, because he's got to take his time to get all the way back there. So he just ran a little.
I'm excited for my interview.
A little tug on the inside, but it wasn't something that probably affected anything, so the referees let it go. Klein gets a high one up, and that will take a hop and roll all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A couple of good punts here by Klein to back up Steel High. How about the fact that he runs 50 yards one way, gets back, and there was no delay. It's not like they waited on the snap at all. The second he stood back there for a second, bang, here comes the ball, and he bangs it a good 40 yards down the field. Go, man, you got to go. How many be ready at all times down here. The conditioning at the single A level has to be at a different